So we've already discussed a little bit about how audience affects rhetorical choices. Remember, rhetorical choices are the choices that you make in your writing that affect the way your audience reads your information. And often these choices are done to persuade, to inform, or to enhance goodwill. So it's the choices you create for certain effects. Let's take a look now at how purpose affects rhetorical choices. In other words, how what you're trying to accomplish by writing the document affects the approach that you take to it. This is important information to know because you need to realize that business writing is not rule following. A lot of people believe that they just have to memorize a bunch of rules, a bunch of grammar, a bunch of stuff about business writing and communicate that way, but that's not the case. What I really want to teach you is to understand the rhetorical situation, which consists of the audience, the purpose, and the context, and to realize that that is going to be different every single time so that you can then apply that rhetorical triangle of audience, purpose, and context to every situation that you uncover and that you face in your communication. You need to consider yourself a choice maker in diverse writing situations. You need to be flexible to adapt to hostile readers and open readers and unfamiliar readers and familiar, etc. So the rationale for understanding purpose is that your purpose is going to change as your audience and your context changes. These things all work together. So by the end of this section, which is the purpose section of our online class, I expect you to be able to analyze your own writing to identify the rhetorical choices you made. I want you to be able to communicate the rhetorical choices that are available in a given situation. In other words, you could say something about, I could do this with an introduction. This is a choice available. Another choice available is a particular word choice that I'm going to use. Another choice available is a formatting choice. Just be able to explain the choices that are available to you so you can adapt to those choices in your communication procedure. You should also explain how purpose informs your choices. Second most important to audience is your purpose, right? So second to who you're actually writing to is what you want that person to do, to know, or to respond as a result of your communication. And all the choices you make are going to be oriented around that purpose. So let's just take a little look at a picture. This is the triangle, the audience, the context, and the purpose. Now notice that each of these elements have a two-way arrow going to them. That implies that these are recursive. What I mean by that is that the audience affects the context as much as the context affects the audience. The audience affects the purpose as much as the purpose affects the audience. The context affects the purpose as much as the purpose affects the context, etc. And that these things are always going to change in every situation that you encounter in your professional writing experience. One of the most important things you can do before you even write your documentation is to analyze each of these three in as much detail as you possibly can. Let's focus though on purpose. So the purpose for your information here is to inform. These are the four main purposes of professional communication: to inform, to persuade, to generate goodwill, and to protect against litigation. That'll be it.